Hello and welcome to Rajya Sabha Television. You're watching The Big Picture with me, Frank Pereira. The Bharatiya Janata Party won the Gujarat Assembly elections for a record sixth straight time on Monday ahead of the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. The party also convinced won the elections in Himachal Pradesh. The Gujarat results turned out to be a seesaw with the BJP and Congress running neck and neck in early trends. Around midday though, the BJP pulled ahead and crossed the midway mark. The win was not as big as the BJP expected. Party leaders had aimed for 150 plus seats but faced a tough challenge from a resurgent Congress led by Rahul Gandhi as well as young Patidar and Dalit leaders Hardik Patel, Alpesh Thakur and Jignesh Mewani. Meanwhile, of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed the results of the elections in Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh as indicative of strong support for politics of good governance and development. He saluted the BJP Karyakartas in these states for their hard work, which he said led to the impressive victories. He also assured the people of the two states that his party would leave no stone unturned in serving them and furthering the development journey. The Congress, meanwhile, saw victory in defeat and said that these results will have implications for the assembly polls in 2018 and the general elections in 2019. On this edition of The Big Picture, we will analyze how the BJP and the Congress interpreted the verdicts and what it means for the elections in 2018 and 19. Joining me on the program today are Tarun Vijay of the BJP, Chetan Chauhan, Deputy National Affairs Editor of the Hindustan Times, and Mohammad Ali Khan, spokesperson of the Congress. Thank you to all my guests for joining me on this edition of The Big Picture. Tarun Vijay, first of all, congratulations. An emphatic victory in Himachal Pradesh. Not as expected in BJP, in Gujarat, but a victory nonetheless.
Thank you to the media and the people.
You know, as far as the victory speech of the Prime Minister is concerned...
A victory is a victory. Don't look at the victory from a...
You know, I was saying about the Prime Minister in his victory speech, he very clearly came out and said that the people have shown faith in the BJP's development agenda and good governance. So going forward, is this what the BJP is going to focus on?
Of course, the faith in the development dharma has won. And the nefarious designs of those who believed in abusive and divisionist politics has been completely defeated. 22 years continuously in power and defeating the anti-incumbency factor is a big thing. It has never happened in this area at least, and except perhaps in West Bengal during Jyoti Basu's period. But Gujarat became a sort of a battlefield of a national significance. And the way the development was mocked at, the way a very low level and cheap kind of a language was used against Honorable Prime Minister, and the way the people of Gujarat were mocked at, it was simply not done and unfair, and it shows the bankruptcy of the opposition. But glad that the people have chosen the right kind of a people, and the hypocrisy of temple going is completely exposed. They did everything that was available in the tricks box, and
Mr. Tarun Vijay,
they tried all sort of
the temple going seems to have helped the Congress.
Language.
The temple going seems to have helped the Congress. The Congress has done very well in the temple seats. I think 18 seats out of the 26 have actually gone to the Congress. But let me go across to the Congress spokesperson now and take up another point with him.
Hi Frank, how are you?
Take up another point with him. Divisiveness has no place in this country, and if you go down that path, you're going to be dealt a defeat after defeat after defeat is what the voters are telling you today.
And the voters are absolutely right, Frank. There is no place in our country for divisive politics. It's interesting that you have Mr. Tarun Vijay, who has his own interesting history of making divisive comments. And I'm glad he is talking about divisive comments today. But this is a productive debate. So let's stick to productive points. Number one, the BJP swept 26 of the Lok Sabha seats. All 26 of the Lok Sabha seats in 2014. That was equivalent to 162 assembly seats. Now, if that result were to be maintained, then they should have won at least 150, as they were proudly proclaiming as their own goal. They weren't able to match that number, clearly.
But a victory is a victory at the end of the day,
is it,
Mohammad Ali Khan, because at the end of the day, history tells us only the champions are remembered. The person who comes second is never remembered. He's forgotten.
There's a very interesting saying, Frank, that I like to quote. Of course, history doesn't remember the guy who came in second. But after a long enough time, history doesn't remember who came in first either. But I'll tell you this, Frank, when the legacy of Prime Minister Modi is written, and that will happen in our lifetimes, when people have gotten a certain distance from this election, I promise you, this will be seen as the lowest point of the Prime Minister's office. And I'll tell you why. I hold the Prime Minister's office in the highest regard. And we had great expectations from him. But when a Prime Minister comes and says that a third party country is interfering in our elections,
but who started it?
The former Prime Minister,
who started it?
Not us.
You know, you started on the development plank. Yeah. You spoke about economic policies of this government. Yeah. But somewhere down the line, a certain Manishankar Iyer came into the fray.
And what did we do,
and changed the discourse of the entire entire debate.
I don't think that's entirely true. I think what Mr. Manishankar Iyer
said. You support Manishankar Iyer? Shame on you.
Shame on you, Tarun Vijay.
You must be ashamed of what you're saying.
Shame on you, Tarun Vijay. I'm embarrassed.
Tarun Vijay जी क्या होता है?
आप casteist और racist और religious views वाले आदमी के साथ बैठने में शर्मिंदगी होती है.
Mr. Tarun Vijay, I'm going to allow you to speak. Let him complete what he has to say, and then I'm going to come to you. You can rebut him with facts and figures.
Yeah. Only on facts. Now, our campaign was run entirely on the development agenda. We had a very carefully crafted plan which involved farmers' rights, education, infrastructure, healthcare. And we asked one question of the BJP every day.
If you probably stuck to it, you would have won this election, Mohammad Ali Khan. You probably won this election if you stuck to it.
Well, you're right, perhaps. But here's what happened, Frank. And you tell me if I'm wrong. I'll put 2 points before you and then you can, I'll close my opening statements. My first point is this. Show me once in this entire campaign where Mr. Rahul Gandhi has made a deleterious, a negative or a reprehensible statement. When Manishankar Iyer did make that reprehensible statement, what did he do? He suspended him immediately. However, and this is my second point, when did we talk about religion? We spoke about religion, Frank, in a very specific context. Rahul ji was visiting temples. He did not come out and hold rallies after that. Ye log ghabra gaye because they think Hindu dharma to inki sole monopoly hai. Rahul ji wanted to remind
let him respond to that.
Just last 30 seconds. I'll finish this point. The Hindu dharma is extremely inclusive. That's the Hinduism people like you and I have grown up with.
Sure.
Rahul ji, when he went to the temples, these people leaked a morphed image of him being a non-Hindu as having signed in some register.
Okay, let's not get into that. Let's not get into Mr.
But that was the tipping point.
Mr. Tarun Vijay, was the BJP at some point in time during the campaigning, during electioneering in Gujarat, concerned about what the Congress was doing? And is Rahul Gandhi going to be a factor that you need to contend with in the elections in 2018 and 2019?
Rahul was simply saying nothing that was substantial. He was mocking at Gujarat. He was insulting the people of Gujarat. He was mocking at the Gujarat level, which had taken the Gujarati people to a higher levels of GDP. He was mocking at the development of the women and women empowerment in Gujarat. He was mocking at the farmers of Gujarat who had made such a big stride in every field. He was mocking even at the highest level of FDI that came to Gujarat. They were insulting contemptuously to the Gujarati people, and that was one reason. And he was using such a cheap and malicious language in all his speeches, like this person whom I don't know, but he seems to be representing the same Congress. I mean, he is saying such a negative things about everyone, even on the TV screen. Then you can imagine what kind of a language.
We've heard what you have to say.
Mushroom,
let's get in a neutral now.
This is a magic mushroom for you guys.
Okay,
this is a magic mushroom for you guys. You should be ashamed of your people.
Mr.
The
Tarun
kind
Vijay,
of language they were using in Gujarat. Everyone, they use every dirty trick.
Mr. Tarun Vijay,
dirty trick in Gujarat. And they got a slap on their face.
Let's forget about what happened in the weeks that have gone by. Let's talk about today for the time being. Let me bring in Chetan Chauhan now into the picture. Prime Minister Narendra Modi came out in his...
They are not even showing grace in defeat.
Yes, Mr. Vijay, your point taken. Your point, I'm going to try and debate that with Mohammad Ali Khan as well. But before that, let me go across to Chetan Chauhan, who's been patiently listening to both the politicians over the last 5 or 6 minutes. Chetan Chauhan, is the BJP going to stick to its development and good governance agenda like the Prime Minister has said? He has said that people have shown faith in his policies. So are we going to see some stronger policies in the days to come?
No, I think... BJP during the campaign also came out with some corrective measures on GST because it felt that in Gujarat, especially among traders in all the cities, which has been the BJP's vote bank, there was some problem. The GST was an issue of concern which the Congress was milking well. So the first corrective measures GST came during the campaign period. So I think the government will have to think of some policy measures will help the middle class
Does
farmers.
this embolden Prime Minister? Does today's result embolden Prime Minister Narendra Modi to take some strong policy measures in the days to come?
I don't think today's result will embolden him, because he had such a huge mandate in 2014, which had already emboldened him enough. This was a scare for BJP, which they have been able to overcome. I would like to sum up like a marathon race in which the Congress also ran well, the BJP also ran well, but in the last leg, the Congress lost a little bit of steam and the BJP won the race. So it was a very keenly contested poll, and it showed us the ability of Congress to match the BJP's high-octane campaign. So I see that in the next elections, be it Karnataka, be it Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh.
But can a Rahul Gandhi take on the charisma, take on the caliber of someone like a Narendra Modi?
I think
do you believe
Gujarat,
is there?
he was at a huge disadvantage, because Gujarat, Modi was a face of average Gujarati. The Congress didn't have a face to present before a Gujarati. They didn't have a CM candidate. They didn't have a leader whom they could have presented across the state. But BJP had a personality who was hugely endearing personality for all the Gujaratis, and he united them together. In the last phase, how he invoked the Gujarati pride, it I think emboldened the Gujarati voters and moved. If you see the second phase polling, the
BJP has done
very well as compared to the first. In Saurashtra,
so
the Congress did really well.
So Modi was the factor there.
Modi was the trump card BJP had, which the Congress didn't have.
How are you going to deal with this trump card, Muhammad Ali Khan? Is Rahul Gandhi your answer?
Well, I believe that the brand of politics that Modi ji and mascots like Tarun Vijay practice comes with an expiry date. It has to come with an expiry date. People begin to ask questions, Frank, which they did in this election. Need I remind you that 41%, and that is a conservative estimate of people in this election, have rejected the Modi brand of politics. And this is barely 3.5 years after he's come to power in the center. I completely agree with Chetan ji. He's absolutely right. This Modi factor is larger than life, and that's what the people blessed him with, Frank. They had such high expectations of him. But how long can you run solely on empty expectations? We began this election with our arms tied behind our back. 4 months ago, Frank.
But yet you played caste politics.
No, we didn't.
You brought in this.
We didn't.
You brought in this rainbow coalition that that you tried and you used in Bihar very well. You won in Bihar. The same model was applied in Gujarat as well.
Right. You could accuse us of playing caste politics if we played caste politics for the benefit of one caste to the exclusion of others. We didn't do that. In fact, it is a testament to Rahul Gandhi's leadership abilities. He brought together two conflicting groups, the Thakurs and the Patidars together on one platform. He brought together this constellation, this alliance, and I think that speaks volumes about him as a consensus builder. Now, we had a fraction of the resources these people had. We had a fraction of the kind of industrialists that these people are friends with.
So the lesson for the Congress also to learn from this, that you need to be a cadre-based party, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to work. You need to build your party from the grassroots.
That's an important takeaway.
If they have to look at Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, they have to project a local leader.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry to say that in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, they don't have a face as of now.
Can I make it?
Yes, surely, Mr. Vijay. Yeah, you've been listening now. Please go ahead.
Sir, they had predicted expiry date for democracy also in 75. But they forget that Modi is not just a personality. We are an ideology. And there is no expiry date for ideology. But there is certainly an expiry date for a family fiefdom and for a family-based politics. And people of India have completely rejected the Vanshava, the family fiefdom on politics, and the ideological stream will continue.
Mr. Tarun Vijay, was Prime Minister Narendra Modi a factor in Gujarat or not? Does he still have the golden touch or not?
Of course. Certainly.
So till when
he has a wonderful golden touch, and wherever he has gone, he has proved that the people love him and people have confidence. You must say the credibility and the confidence of the people in his leadership is so immense.
Okay, so in that context, then I'm going to ask you.
He becomes the biggest factor for victory, and Gujarati people had that. But he represents an ideology.
Okay,
there is
so
no
in that context, then,
and there is no family fiefdom.
In that context, then, Mr. Tarun Vijay, please hear me out. Please hear me out. In that context, then, I'm going to ask you the next question. Till when is the BJP going to ride the Narendra Modi wave? Because at the end of the day, everything is going to fizzle out. There's going to be an expiry date, as Muhammad Ali Khan is saying. Till when is the BJP going to milk this?
No, sir. expiry date is for the family-based politics that is now expired. Modi represents the ideological content of the millions and millions of our cadre. There is not one Narendra Modi. There are a million Narendra Modis everywhere. Wherever there is an ideological strength, there is Narendra Modi. That is what I want to say. That it is not a personality-based politics. Of course, today Narendra Modi is an icon and a symbol of that ideological strength and power. Hence, people love that icon and they vote for him. That continues with the ideologically powered and inspired cadres. That's the reason that Modi ji has also said in his speech today that he thanks all the millions of workers.
So are you saying there is no need for any course correction in
the strength? He met all the party work. You know, sir, just one second. Would you find the Panna workers, the booth workers of any other party in Gujarat? When there was an election time, Rahul Gandhi was busy abroad. He was not even finding time to meet the workers. He was not finding time to create sort of a Congress state leadership.
You have a point there.
Everything was rested on him. That is the difference between us and them.
Point taken. Mohammad Ali Khan, at the end of the day, politics is all about winning and everyone is in the race to win. And Narendra Modi over the last 3.5 years has shown us that politics is a 24/7 job. And this is something that Rahul Gandhi has shown us and we've seen over the years is not very good at doing.
Well, Frank, you made a statement. Politics is about winning. If I may amend that, politics, according to people like Stephen Lecoq, is also about presenting a vision to the people. Why do we do politics? So that we can go to the people and say, this is the direction we believe the country should be going in. And the people, through the process of elections, repose their faith in you and saying, aha, your vision appeals to me. Now, the kind of poisonous vision that these people put forth, right?
Because what is your vision? You know, you spoke about the economy in Gujarat. You brought up the right kind of issues, but you did not give the people any solutions. You just kept raising the issues, but did not give them any solutions. So what did the voters actually come out and vote to the Congress for?
Actually, we did come out with solutions. In fact, our websites and our social media pages are
one of your solutions was the giving reservations to the Patels.
Yes, absolutely, and we worked out a formula for it as well, which we put into the public domain. We have, the point I'm trying to make is, Frank, every problem that this state had, we said we will work in consultation with stakeholders to arrive at solutions. We had problems of land acquisition, which Mr. Vijay probably doesn't even know about. They had problems of electricity. Patan mein bijli was going at 100% more than it was going for in Ahmedabad. These were genuine issues that connected with the people on the ground. People, traders in
Why don't you say you have PD and you have that Kashmiri terrorist in your fold?
I didn't interrupt you when you were ranting. Now, what I want to say is this. Finally,
please, Tarun Vijay ji and Mohammad Ali Khan, please, one at a time. Hold on. No, I'm not going to allow this. If you're going to do this, I'm going to go across to the journalist. Does the BJP need any kind of course correction going forward, or is the BJP going to be happy doing just this?
No, I think that the budget, you will see some sort of a course correction, both on the GST front. The government, the GST Council has taken a large number of measures. There will be some course correction GST front. And apart from that, this is a crucial election budget. So I am thinking that there can be a rebate on income tax also for the middle class. There will be more scheme for farmers and poor.
So it's going to be a populist budget is what you're suggesting?
It will be a populist budget because this is the last budget before 2019 elections. And with this budget, I think the government, the BJP will announce its campaign for 2019 elections. It may start with elections in Northeast, it may start with Karnataka.
Going by today's results, is 2019 in the bag for the BJP?
2019 will be a keenly contested poll. I am not in psephology predicting 2019, which is 1.5 years away, because in politics 1 week is also a long time.
A lifetime.
So I will not predict it, but it will be a keenly contested poll because today's result, I think, has given a sort of a new energy to Congress workers, and it is an eye-opener for BJP also. Because if in a home state of the Prime Minister, the BJP's number has come down by 16, it is an alarm bell for the BJP, because in other states also, the Prime Minister may not have same sort of a resonance as he had in Gujarat. And it may be a level playing field between Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Narendra Modi in other parts of the country.
Yes,
so it will be a keenly contested, but I am saying today the advantage is with BJP and Rahul Gandhi has to recover a lot of ground.
And it is up to the Congress now to try and take the fight to Narendra
Congress
Modi going
has
forward,
to start
is what you're
preparation
suggesting.
today. It
Okay.
cannot start next year, September for something. It has to start work today for the elections, like Narendra Modi did in 2012.
Sure.
He started the campaign for 2014
Point
elections.
taken, yes.
Actually, I just want to add a postscript to what Chetan ji is saying. I just want to tell you what happened in the AICC today. As this result became clearer and clearer, we were doing debates back to back. I was on your channel twice during the day as well. You know, Hindi में जैसे मायूसी कहते हैं, मायूसी नहीं थी. In fact, as we got closer and closer to this result, it may not technically be a victory, but there was a galvanization of sentiment. Everybody felt, yes, this is a number we can work on, we can build on.
So that's the victory and defeat that I was referring to in the beginning.
Exactly. So this is the I believe it is a moral victory. It has shown that hard work does pay off. I know Mr. Vijay wants us to be gracious. My leaders are gracious, Mr. Vijay, but I'm not as gracious. I believe we are coming for you, and you better watch out in 2019. We and the people of India.
The Congress is coming for you, Tarun Vijay, is what Mohammad Ali Khan is saying, and you better be ready for the Congress. You know, this, and Chetan Chauhan has said that
this to
result,
have solace in their defeats always, and we wish them well that if they...
You know, and Chetan Chauhan has just said that this election has not gone according to plan for the BJP. It should be an eye-opener for you as well, and there is a need for course correctiveness as you go into 2018 and then, of course, finally 2019.
Certainly, sir. Every election is a lesson for every party. And we will have to ponder over about all the messages and the cautionary signals that the electorate has given, and we will make corrections. Certainly, it is a matter of lesson for every party.
So would you then say
next elections?
Then going forward, things are going to be difficult. So you need to consolidate. The NDA needs to consolidate, not just the BJP. You need to take your allies along as well if you have to fight the Congress, who are putting up these rainbow alliances in all these smaller states.
I think Mr. Vijay's silence speaks volumes.
I think the connection is...
Tarun Vijay, I don't know if you can hear me, but my question to you was...
Sorry, I didn't get it. Yeah.
Okay, my question to you was, do you believe after the Congress has put up such a tough fight, building some of these alliances and showing you that this is the way that they're going to fight the elections to come, that the NDA too needs to consolidate for 2018 and 19?
Consolidation is a continuous process within NDA, within BJP. And we have to do continuously that. We will see that the Congress is wiped out from the democratic map of India completely, and we form a Congress Mukt Bharat. Definitely, next target is Karnataka, then other states. Soon you will find that Congress is unable to win anywhere in the country, and that will be the happiest and the more joyous era for the country. Amit Shah ji and Narendra Modi ji had promised to give a Congress Mukt Bharat, and the people of India are continuously working to strengthen and fulfill that dream.
Okay, you have a point there.
All the people.
I thank
all those viciously...
Yeah, okay, you have a point there.
Venom.
19 out of 29 seats, states, I beg your pardon, the BJP is directly in par or in par with someone else as an ally. You know, they're almost there, Mohammad Ali Khan.
Well, to quote Mr. Shekhar Gupta, he came up with a very witty headline about an hour back in an article he wrote. BJP ने मांगा था कांग्रेस मुक्त भारत, इन्हें मिल गया कांग्रेस युक्त गुजरात. So, and all credit goes to him for that. देखिए तरुण विजय जी, हार जीत लगी रहती है. भगवत गीता में एक बड़ी खूबसूरत लाइन है, निराशा नहीं, जीत में घमंड नहीं. First part we've got down. Second part आप भी सीख लीजिए. That's all I'll have to say.
Okay, final closing comment from Chetan Chauhan.
I don't agree with that. The opposition is the most important aspect of a democracy. So there should be a strong opposition, but a clear message for 2019 should that Congress has to bring all the opposition parties together. Unless they can bring Samajwadi Party, BSP, left parties together, it will be a difficult task for
So it's Modi versus the rest then in 2019?
It will be Modi versus the rest.
Okay, Modi versus the rest is what Chetan Chauhan is saying. With that, I'll have to call it a wrap on this edition of The Big Picture. I'd like to thank Tarun Vijay, Chetan Chauhan, Mohammad Ali Khan. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me on the program and putting things into perspective for us. Our coverage, of course, of the results and the big polling day will continue on the other side. We'll listen to the Prime Minister's speech at 10 p.m. Stay tuned.